ho ho. What's up, baby? Are we in December? What did I just turn into, Santa Claus? What's going on? Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to another episode of the Good Days Only podcast, episode number 52. Thank you for tuning in. Dude, let's just jump right into this one, huh? This coffee's already got me a bit caffeinated, and I'm feeling a little bit chatty. So buckle up. Again, thanks for tuning in. If it's your first time, welcome. Let's get into the caffeine breakdown for this wonderful little bag of beans right here. Yes, sir. Let's talk a little bit about this coffee right here that we got in this cup, because you know what? First, let me take another sip of this because it's too good. I can't even put this down right now. One moment. Come on. If you got a little some in your hand too, take a little sip with your boy. Don't talk to me till I had my coffee. You guys know those shirts? I need to get me one of those shirts. Dude. Okay, so let's talk about this coffee. Because, sometimes things happen in your life, right? And it changes your life for the better. And you weren't expecting it. All of a sudden, it just happens. And now you're better for it, right? Because of it. So, Sleepy Monk Coffee Roasters out of Cannon Beach over there in Oregon. Shout out to the crew, the whole crew. Kevin, shout out to you. We've tried these bags before. Okay, let me step back. What I was going to say is, you know what? Sleepy Monk came into my life kind of serendipitously, right? I show up, right? I'm walking home from work one day, and I show up to the apartment, and there's a little box outside the door. And, I was surprised because sometimes when Amazon just leaves the packages just outside your door. And if you live in an apartment complex, like that's kind of dangerous because anybody could just walk up and take it. But luckily this day, nobody did. And so I take the box, right? And I take it inside. And I'm like, ooh, I wasn't expecting anything. I didn't order anything on Amazon or whatever, right? And then I open the box. And inside the box is a lovely little bag of beans with this cute little monk holding this little coffee cup up high up in the air, right? And I was like, yo, what? Where'd this come from? And inside there's a letter. Shout out to you, Brian, good friend of mine, was out at the Oregon coast just traveling or, whatever, exploring. And there's a little note, he sent me a note. Send me this bag of beans. We talked about this before. It was a couple episodes ago that we tried Sleepy Monk Coffee Roasters, and we tried the Monastery Blend. Just a nice, solid, smooth, dark roast blend. And I was captivated by the artwork, right? So I was like, hey, let's talk about this on the pod. This is solid. This is a solid bag of beans, solid cup of joe. So thank you, Brian, because without you, I wouldn't have known about this yet. And I say yet, because, we ain't going to limit ourselves to one bag of beans. We're going to keep exploring as we go through this process. So Sleepy Monk just kind of showed up at my door one day and now has not gone away. And hey, I ain't mad at it. Dude, of course not. Because these beans, they're doing something right, all right? Y'all are doing the thing right out there. Small scale, only one coffee shop. All right, only one Sleepy Monk, and only roasting organic fair trade coffee. So I know there are some of y'all out there. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Trista, that only do organic. Hey, and that's cool. I support it. You do your thing. So no crazy pesticides or anything like that out on the farms where they're farming these lovely little beans. But Sleepy Monk, man, shout out to you and the whole crew. Let's get into this bean that we have right in front of us. All right. Single origin, medium roast, Kenyan, peaberry beans for ya boy. The peaberry, pop quiz, who knows what that is? That's right, you guessed it. It's that genetic mutation that happens to only, I think it was like something like 5 or 10% of beans in the world that this happens to. And so usually, coffee beans come inside the cherry like your imagine like a peanut, right? How peanuts, you can split the peanut in half after you take it out of the shell. That's what coffee beans look like. But this mutation causes these beans to only produce the cherries to only produce one bean inside of the cherry. And so that one bean is a little bit more circular. It looks like a little bit like a pea, maybe, like a little chicharro, right? It's a little bit more round. And that one bean is selfish, right? So it absorbs all the nutrients, all of the flavor profile, all those fruity notes. It absorbs everything from the cherry before it, gets washed or processed or however it ends up getting processed. But so some people will argue and say that, they have a different or more fruity notes or have a superior flavor. To each their own. But this right here, fire, dude, fire. So yeah, single origin, straight from Kenya, right? This Kenyan coffee was grown in nutrient-rich red volcanic soil and naturally dried in the sun. I wanted to read what I wrote down. So I opened the bag of beans and I took some notes. I want to read the notes that I took before reading the notes that were provided on the site for this bag of beans. See how close we got to this, all right? Let's see. So, Sleepy Monk, the Kenyan Peabody. On the nose, I said, this right when I open the bag, dude, fucking boo, you get hit. You get hit by that big cloud of that aroma. Nice, rich, deep. I said like milk honey. Like a milk honey, maybe like that oatmeal, that lotion sometimes that you get that's got that milk honey scent. It's like nice and sweet and soothing. There's something soothing about that. Maybe a little nutty, like not too nutty, but like when was the last time you cracked open a walnut? That's what it reminds me of. Like when the first time you crack open a walnut and you get a little bit of that, like that scent in the air, whatever that is, and that little nutty, comes up out of that walnut when you crack it. That's what I'm talking about. Like very fringe nutty, right? On this bag of beans. So milk honey, a little nutty, a lot of sweetness. And that's both fresh out the bag and ground up. This is, again, all in the aromas. On the taste, dude, full, I'd say like medium to heavy body, and just velvety, dude. Velvety, like that's the only thing that I could think of to explain this. It's like a taste of velvet on the tongue. Easy to sip on, dude. Easy, smooth from start to finish. All right, so that's my notes. The tasting notes that Sleepy Monk gives here, not too far off, dude. So tasting notes, some milk chocolate and berry with some nut undertones. Hit it right on the head, dude. That's exactly what I was talking about. Slightly earthy with a smooth finish. Dude, who wrote these up? Was it your boy? I don't remember writing this, because we hit that one right on the head pretty much. What's up, little fella? Henry's making a guest appearance. Hi, Zoe. What's poppin'? You good? All right. Need some coffee? Dude, I'm caffeinated. So what were we doing before we were rudely interrupted? Tasting notes. Smooth finish. We get some more info. I like when places give us all these details, when roasters give us these details. Who's the grower, you might be asking? Where were these beans actually sourced from? And this is coming out of the Muri estate in Kiambu County, Kenya. Altitude 1,537 to 1,550 meters. That's around like 5,000 feet or so, I think, if my math is correct. Somebody check me on that. Probably like, 4,700, 5,000, 5,100 feet, something. The process, fully washed and dried in raised beds. Fully washed, if we recall, is the process, one of the processes, right? So you could just take the beans and do like a natural process where you just pick the beans up, or the cherries rather, and you just let them dry out in the sun. And so the bean actually extracts more of those fruity notes from the cherry, versus one of these, so like this fully washed method where the cherry gets washed, all of that pulp is taken off of the beans, the mucilage, etc., and then the beans are actually just dried on their own without any of the cherry. So you're getting just straight whatever's in that coffee bean. You're not really getting it clouded by any of those fruity notes or the cherry from the cherry. Harvest time, October to December, June to August. So we're right on the tail end of that harvest. I mean, it kind of depends on when these were harvested exactly, but we're in the time frame. We're in the window. The soil, volcanic loam. I didn't realize Kenya had so many volcanoes, dude. Had to look this up. There are over 30 volcanoes just around Kenya. 11 Pleistocene. Dude, we're hitting you with some knowledge right here. Some geography. 11 Pleistocene volcanoes. I think that's how you say that. And 21 Holocene volcanoes. That just refers to the time period. So the Pleistocene period, approximately the last 2.5 million years. And volcanoes active in the past approximately 10,000 years are on the Holocene list and are not duplicated from the Pleistocene period. So that's kind of a scary name. Holocene, what is that even? That just reminds me of like Holocaust. That's immediately where my mind goes. That's kind of fucked up, right? Well, hey, I don't know, dude. Word association. The Holocene, what's the definition of Holocene?
The Holocene is the current geological epoch.
Oh, so the current geological epoch. So we are currently in the Holocene period.
Yes.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, that sounds kind of scary, no? Sounds like the end times to me. So everybody, grab your cup of Joe. Let's take a little sip because if it's the Holocene, I don't want to be seen without my coffee, dude. Yeah, let's just finish this off. Yeah. Dude, some more fun facts about Kenya. I was going down this rabbit hole because it was fun, you know? You hear about Ethiopia, like, you know, the origins of coffee. And so, like, you know, that's like a big name. Kenya, also a big name in coffee, but I hadn't really done too much digging into it. And I like what I found. So Kenya is home to Africa's second highest mountain. Wild, huh? In the Great Rift Valley, Mount Kenya stands about 5,200 meters tall, almost 17,000 feet. That's taller than the mountains up here in the PNW. That's taller than Mount Hood or Mount Rainier. That's twice the height of Big Bear in California. And Mount Fuji, dude, Mount Fuji, the tallest point of Japan, of the entire country. Mount Fuji only sits about 12,500 feet, which is nothing in comparison to the 17,000 foot Mount Kenya. And I always thought that Mount Fuji was really, really tall, but maybe it's just deceiving because it looks like it's a snow cap, like year round, and there's not really other tall mountains around it. You know, it's like one of those optical illusions. I don't know. But back to the coffee. Organic, like we said, fair trade, bird friendly. All right. So all you bird lovers out there, some bird friendly coffee. What does that mean? Not really sure. Shade grown. Okay. Probably just means doesn't get blasted by the sun. Maybe. All day, 2 day. Maybe that makes it a little bit more acidic. That's maybe. I don't know. I'm just like grasping at stuff here. Bird friendly though. That's funny. We got a bird feeder recently, and we've had some little bird friends. So we're all about the bird watching these days. So thank you, Sleepy Monk, for making sure that your beans are sourced from somewhere, making them bird friendly. Love the little birds. What's my favorite bird? Good question. I think probably the bald eagle. The USA. Nah, dude. I think for some reason blue-footed boobies come to mind just because that's such a funny name. And I remember hearing that when we were in like high school. There, I think it's in they're only native to an archipelago somewhere out in the Pacific, I want to say. Is it out near Guam? No, I don't know exactly. But the blue-footed boobies, they got the blue feet and they're cool. They're cool little boobies. Dude. So, I have this little nifty book. It's called Stuff Every Coffee Lover Should Know by Candace Rose Rardon. And so here's another little fun fact for you. Coffee arrived in Kenya only in 1893. That's not that long ago. 1893 in the grand scheme of things, about in like coffee, right? But the country is now known for its coffee research. They've created several drought or disease-resistant varieties from Arabica, of Arabica beans, from SL28 and SL34 to Ruru 11, developed by Kenya's Coffee Research Institute in 1985. What does the SL stand for? No idea. Numbers? Who knows? Maybe it's people's initials. That'd be cool. I'd like to name something the OP23, or something like that. People were always like kind of selfish about stuff like that, right? Like you see people's last names on bridges and whatnot. Like if it's gifted to you, sure, I get it. If it's like, hey, we're going to present, somebody did like some crazy, like, advancement in technology or in whatever aspect of their profession. And then like a group of other people's like, hey, we're going to gift you this thing. Let's make this for you. Like, I get that. That's cool. But if you go and do something and then you name it after yourself, it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I love that. Would I do it? Maybe. So, I don't know. I'm going back and forth. Now I'm wishy-washy. Because it is kind of cool, huh? You kind of leave your stamp on this, what we see as never-ending story of human beings. But dude, I don't know. Global warming, aliens, shit's popping off right now. Just popping off. Let's keep moving. We are getting into the weeds about some stuff here. So let's stick back to the coffee. All right. What did we do for this coffee? We hit it with the pour over. We hit it with the AeroPress. Pour over? Come on, dude. All through the brewing process, from the bloom to the final drop through the filter, dude. Man, if you could bottle that smell up, like that warm, just like comforting essence of coffee just brewing in the morning, like while the birds are maybe even still asleep. It's a little bit too early for the birds to get up and start annoying everybody yet. That I don't know about you, but to me, that essence right there, dude, that'd be calming. Like if you could just bottle that up and have a little bottle of it, so you're like, commuting to work or whatever, and you're late, or you're at work and you're stressed out, and you just need a little something to like calm you down, right? You just crack open that little bottle, take a little sniff of that coffee in the morning, and just kind of resets your mood, I feel like, right? Wouldn't that be, there might be something there. Somebody that knows how to create things. Keep that in mind. That might be a thing that we could do in the future. But I don't know, dude. It's cool. That smell, like this is just like one of those solid aromas through the entire kitchen. And it honestly, it kind of helps with deep breathing. You know, I mean, just taking a deep breath, inhaling, holding that in your lungs, helps with deep breathing in the mornings. For me, and deep breathing, we know a bunch of health benefits. Lowers blood pressure, helps with stress, anxiety, keeps your lungs healthy, dude. So you're making sure that you're filling all your lungs up with some air. We don't want none of that short breath, causing complications later on in life. Fill them lungs up with some nice coffee aromas in the morning, dude. Sometimes I like to hold my breath, like just to see how long I could hold it. And one time it was like, when you're about to fall asleep, you're about to take a little nap, or you're ready for beddy bye time at nighttime, and you get nice and calm, and you're getting ready to doze off. That's the best time for me. I feel like I like to try and hold my breath, see how long I could go. I was watching this documentary about the deepest dive or the deepest breath or something like that on Netflix, about these deep sea divers that are just wild, their lung capacity and just their ability to hold their breath. They go down like 100 meters or something down in the water, and they're under the ocean for like minutes, 5 minutes or something at a time. And so I was watching that documentary and I was like, ooh, I wonder if I could hold my breath that long. And so I was kind of doing that at night. And then all of a sudden I like kind of fell asleep, and then I woke up in a panic because I was like, oh shit, like I have not been breathing right now. So I don't know if I passed out for like a couple seconds because I just held my breath for too long, or if I just held my breath for that long and then like, I was freaking out and woke up because I wasn't breathing. I don't know. Dude, so this pour over, delicious. Like I said, velvety on the tongue, easy to sip on. Just smooth from start to finish. Made a little almond milk latte, equal parts had the pour over to the almond milk. The coffee was about maybe like 170 degrees Fahrenheit. The milk had actually just come out of the fridge, so I just kind of took it like a shot. And it was delectable. It reminded me of these paletas, these little suckers that we had as kids. They were paletas de leche de vaca. I know that's a mouthful, but it's just like cow milk caramel suckers. And I don't know, that sip of this almond milk latte with this specific bag of beans, that's what it took me back to, which is cool, right? That's the power of like when you try something like food and art, right? Because this is an art form, dude. Freaking Levi out here making some heavy hitting coffee, all right? Levi ain't just jeans, dude. Levi's our boy over at Sleeping Monk that roasted this bag of beans. Appreciate you, my man. And Kevin, shout out to you for getting us connected and reaching out after we tried the last bag of beans. This is awesome. What was I talking about? Levi's, jeans, AeroPress. Dude, put it through the AeroPress, added a little bit of pressure, didn't wait for gravity, too slow. And this came out, that nice concentrated cup. I think it was a little bit brighter, a little bit more acidity. I might have over extracted a little bit with this one. But I just, dude, nothing bad to say about this bag of beans. I know I'm kind of rambling and going around in circles. So let's talk about this appearance and packaging. I'm saying, dude, this Monk got his little cloak on, got his little coffee cup in the air. It's going to bring him back to life, dude. It's going to bring him back to life. These peaberry beans, people are on both sides of this coin. Whether peaberry coffees, beans, peaberry beans are sweeter, have a better flavor profile. All I'm going to say is this coffee, dude, I could continue to drink this bag right here. We've all heard that question, like if you could only have one meal for the rest of your life or one drink or whatever for the rest of your life. Like if I could only ever have one coffee for the rest of my life, am I saying that this is going to be it? I'm not going to go that far to say that this would be it, but it's up there, dude. It's up there in the conversation for sure. For sure. Top three, right up there. But we ain't even going to entertain the idea of stopping at one coffee for the rest of your life, dude. We going to keep exploring. Come on. What is life about if not to explore? Just the fact that we're like even out here breathing. Isn't that kind of nuts? Dude, if you haven't already, go outside today. Look up at the stars or up at the sky. If it's maybe, hopefully it's not too overcast near you. But just take a look around. Look at the trees. Breathe the air in. It's wild, right? They were just out here, alive, running around. Kind of nuts. It's easy for us to get stuck in the day-to-day, but just, it's good. It's good to realize there's more out here to this life, right? Anyways, that's it for the coffee breakdown. Let's move it. Just check out, before I go on, check out Sleepy Monk Coffee Roasters. Online, easy peasy. We're all used to that instant gratification. Dude, look them up. SLEEPYMONK coffee.com and order you a bag of beans. Because you need some of these. You got to try what I'm talking about. Or check them out if you're ever out at Cannon Beach in Oregon. Yeah, Haystack Rock, whatever. But Sleepy Monk, right there. Check them out. Let's get into what's been happening the last couple months. Let's move on here. Talk about some of the vibes that we've been on. Oh, Canada. I don't know why I say that sometimes. I don't even know the national anthem. But this summer, dude, 2023, the vibes have been at an all-time high. Except for all this smoke out in the air right now. That kind of sucks. But the days have been hot, dude. The drinks have been cold. We've been outdoors. Been to another country. And back. On foot. Dude. Been enjoying some sunshine. Reconnecting with some old peeps. Meeting some new peeps. Have I eaten any peeps recently? No. I don't really like peeps. Never really liked them. Those little birds? Are they chicks? That's what they are, right? The little chicks. Don't really like them. But, yeah, dude. It's been fun. Been living, laughing, loving. Dude, Chuggy Summer 23. Let's go. Took a big trip to San Diego. Went down to Mexico. Across the border. We were gone about 8 days, or maybe away from out of touch with work. And dude, when you go on a trip, I'd say over 5 days. If you go on a trip, over 5 days, it really does sort of help reset everything, right? Reset your entire being. It feels like. If you go away for 2-3 days, you get away from work and you're like, it's cool, but it doesn't really feel like a vacation, right? And that's what we've been on for the longest time. We hadn't gone on a big break like this, a big trip like this for years. It's been 5 years. We were doing some thinking back, and usually we'll do weekend trips, 3-4 days, but it doesn't really, it's relaxing, sure. It can be, but it doesn't really reset, right? So we took this big trip, and I think it resets, but only only if you're able to disconnect, right, from work or other aspects of your day to day. Like, like when we cross the border, for some reason, AT&T, get your shit together. My phone just never works. The last couple of times I've been down to Mexico, my phone, like, I don't get service. I just, so I wasn't actually able to like log into email or LinkedIn or do anything like that. And so it was really just like, yo, I'm out here in a different country. I ain't even thinking about work or really any of the other day-to-day stressors. But we hit up like, 4, 5, 6 beaches. We hit up, a bunch of good food spots. We enjoyed the sun, soaked up some sun, got a little tan, probably ate too much, probably drank a little bit too much juice, adult juice. Dude, it was fun. That was the big thing that happened the last month or so. We landed. Let's just go a little overview. Let's dive in. So we land in San Diego, right? We land in San Diego. Life hack: get you some friends that live in different cities so that you can land in their city and they can chauffeur you around. Thank you, Kim. Love you, bro. We land. We hit up a little cheeky brunch spot called Morning Glory. Had some of the French toast. Was it worth the hype? I remember it being a long wait time. Like, I was like waiting. Like, we waited. We got on a list, and then we, went somewhere else, walked around. It was fine because we were right by Little Italy, so it was cool. Soaking in the scenery, but we had to wait like a 45 minutes or an hour to get into this spot, and it was on like a Wednesday, mind you, for some reason at like 10 a.m. And we then got there. Everybody ordered. There were like 5 of us. I was like, oh, French toast? Sign me up. Let's go. And then the French toast, for some reason, took the longest out of everybody's orders. So I was sitting there for another like 30, 45 minutes waiting for my French toast, which, like, what? How does that happen? Like, somebody's lobster came out before my French toast. Like, bro, what? Anyways, it was cool. It was fine. It was fine. It was good. I say Morning Glory. I'd have to give it another shot because I had heard so many good things about it. Little Italy was dope. And I think actually subconsciously it kind of got me in that Italian kind of like mindset, because then we went on a little bit of a Italian drama love movie bender. We watched a couple of them in like a day or two. So if you haven't seen it already, check out, it's called Made in Italy. And I think it's on Hulu, if I remember correctly. Liam Neeson is in it. Nobody gets abducted. It's cool. I mean, his heart gets abducted by maybe a love interest in the movie. No. It's good. And Liam Neeson, he's an artist. And just general spark notes, just in case you might want to watch it. Yeah, it's like, he lost his wife and he was an artist, had these amazing, he was like up and coming, lost his wife, and then just like fell off of the face of the earth. His son was trying to like follow in his footsteps, trying to make him proud. But they have this like weird, estranged relationship, and they end up reconnecting, and they're in Italy, and it's the place of love, and like the scenery is beautiful, and there's a couple of cute little love meet cutes and love stories that unfold. It's a good movie. I was sucked in, dude. I was tuned in. I was like, I don't even want to stop watching this. And then there's another one called Toscana. And that one's about a Danish chef that similarly, somebody dies or something happens. Yeah, someone dies, I think. And he ends up going to Italy because he wants to sell his that's what it was. His dad dies. It's not a spoiler. It's probably in the trailer, so it's fine. His dad dies, and he goes to Italy, and then classic, you guessed it, sure, he meets somebody that Maybe he takes a liking to and makes him reevaluate wanting to sell his dad's old house and changes him for the better, and he's less grumpy. So it's cool. It's a feel-good movie. Right? Feel-good movie. He probably had some hip issues. I don't know. He looked like he was limping around. I don't know who this actor was, but he did a good job of being just a grumpy, middle-aged man. Seems like a lot of chefs. I mean, I don't know. I think maybe movies and TV shows give chefs a bad rep. Because if you haven't already, also not really actually that cute or fall in lovey, but it's Italian-esque. And if you haven't already watched it, you should add The Bear to your Hulu queue, because that shit is intense. There are two seasons out, and it follows this dude Carmy, who's the actor in real life. What's his name? Jeremy Allen White. Jaw. He kind of looks like Phineas from Phineas and Ferb a little bit, if you guys know that TV show. But what I was getting at was, I think TV shows and movies kind of paint chefs in this light of like grumpy, pissed off, anxious, stressed out people. I don't know. Like in real life, I feel like all the chefs I've met are hella cool, down to earth, and like, I don't know, maybe that's just the outward, what they put out there for the customer, because I've just generally been in that customer shoes. But on these TV shows, you're like, damn, there's so much that goes into, like, people put their entire being, their life on the line for these plates, the art, again, going back to art, that they're producing, right? Because they want it to be, the best of the best. They want somebody that's going to be coming into their establishment to have an experience, right? An experience, a shared experience with, maybe you're on a date. Maybe you have some family, right? And so they want to make sure that you're taken care of. So a lot of stress and anxiety comes with that, I'm sure, wanting to make sure that your product is up to the level that these people expect when they're eating, right? Sharing, breaking bread with somebody that they love. I guess I get it. So Little Italy had some Italian food out there. And then we walked across the border. So walk across the border straight up. We were kind of stressed out about this because we were like, oh man, all right. Are they going to let us in? Maybe. I don't know. Do we look suspicious? But it took us straight up 5 minutes? It was like a 5-minute walk into Mexico. 5 minutes, walk across the border. Felt like we were in a CoverGirl commercial. Easy breezy, beautiful. Too easy, maybe. Made it across. Were they going to let me back in to the United States? Who knows? That was the big question that I had on my mind for about 5 or 6 days, because I always run into issues at the border. And this actually goes back to pre-mustache, okay? I get it. Maybe with the mustache, I could see it. Hey, this guy, he's got a mustache. Maybe I got to stop him when he's trying to cross across the border, because, there's something that people feel like, it's like kind of like a disguise a little bit, right? Like, did he just go down there and then grow a mustache and then is trying to sneak back across the border with a mustache on? One time I actually had my mustache, somebody tugged it because they were like, is that real? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that to people. Don't touch their mustache. PSA. So, hey, needless to say, we're back in the States. So, of course, they did let me back in. It's all good. But what do we do right when we get across the border? First stop, tacos. Of course, we get over there. We have some bomb birria tacos. A little bit fatty. The juice is dripping out of the tortilla. The tortilla is nice and crispy on both sides. With a little bit of you just put a little cilantro and some cebolla. Yeah, cilantro, cebolla. You guys know that? Onion. That's how you say onion in Spanish. And then, maybe a little salsa on there too. God damn, dude. Those tacos. Those birria tacos, I could taste them right now if I close my eyes right now. You know something about food, right? Where like you can kind of, if you can close your eyes and think about that experience, you can go back there, right? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm getting hungry. So tacos, dude. And then we're driving around, right? So my uncle picks us up and he's driving us around and I'm like in the passenger seat like, oh shit, like I forgot. It's kind of like the wild, wild west out there. Stoplights? Where? What? They just got stop signs. Of course, down there it says alto, but alto, I thought you said I'll go, dude, because nobody fucking stops at these stop signs. I was actually chauffeuring us around for most of the time because my uncle kind of got sick and, so he was kind of like feeling under the weather. So I was like, all right, let's go. I'll drive. And driving around over there, dude, the number of close calls we had while driving, and I mean like all types of cars. This is why you go down there. If you notice, when you go down to Mexico, you'll see a bunch of cars that are like, everybody's got a little dent or a little scrape or a little scratch. I feel like people just, you get in where you fit in. If somebody's stopping a little bit too long at the stoplight, you go around them. There was 2-lane roads and we were just making it a 3rd lane. And sometimes if people weren't, if they were stopping on the 3rd lane that wasn't even actually supposed to be there, we just made it a 4th lane. And dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. And like even the police, like the cop cars were doing that same thing. And sure, I don't know, maybe should I have just been a little bit more patient and not tried to go around traffic? Who knows how long you're going to be stuck there though, I think Tijuana is like the number 1 or number 2 most crossed border in the world, like on a daily basis, the number of people that cross through Tijuana. Let's look this up. So I'm just not spreading misinformation here, but let's see. Because I'm pretty sure, dude, think about it. I mean, so many people that live in San Diego, I didn't realize it's like a 15-minute drive, dude. You could just go down to San Diego, live there, go down to Mexico, live there, have like way cheaper property, and then like just hop back and forth and come work over here. But let's see, border crossing. How do we even top border crime? San Isidro, look at that. The San Isidro and El Chaparral ports of entry jointly constitute the world's busiest land border crossing, 40% of the total population residing in communities along the U.S.-Mexico border. Wow, there are more than 106 million individual crossings. I don't know if that's daily, though. What is that? Let's see. Tijuana. San Isidro is the actual, like, crossing town, I think. Let's see. Daily border crossing in Tijuana. There is a daily average of 266,000 people crossing. Dang. That's wild. Exceeding the passenger volume at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, the busiest in the world. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you know what? Here's the point. A lot of motherfuckers cross there. There's a lot of people that cross there. It's a lot of people that live in Tijuana. There's a lot of people that live just across the border. So it's busy. All right. That means a lot of cars. That means that when you're driving around there, you got to keep your head on a swivel. So we're driving around, we're having a good time, we're eating lots of fruits, we're eating lots of veggies, we're eating elotes, we had some tacos, we had ceviche, we had some caldo, we had some birria, some fruta, some fresh fruit. The mangoes were in season, dude. I probably had like an average of probably like 2 mangoes a day while we were there. Bomb. Went out to the beaches, like I said. We went out to Rosarito, which is Rosarito Beach. We went out there, that's like a spring break destination. And we just kind of hung out on the beach, putzed around. The Baja Beach Fest was going on there while we were there. So we didn't actually go in to the Baja Beach Festival, but we did kind of get the essence. We got a little essence, right? So we walked around the little neighborhood there. Saw everybody. It was all dressed up and ready to go to the Baja Beach Fest. It was popping. It was popping. It was live. I think that's like the second biggest reggaeton music festival in the world as well, dude. A lot of second biggest things happening in Tijuana and surrounding neighborhoods. It was sick. It was sick. Who was the top artist of the weekend? There were a lot of good artists that were there. Young Miko was there. Was Fade there? Fade was there. Who else? Was Karol G? Karol G wasn't there. Becky G, one of the G's. Dude, we seen a Yandel, maybe? And who else? It was like 30 people on there because it was like a 3-day festival. You know how that goes. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people, dude. What was it? I think I saw some videos though. The crowd, dude. I don't know. Maybe I think I'm actually happy that we didn't end up going. There was a lot of beef that was going on down there. Like, people were fighting. You know, you think about like a festival, you think about like, oh, let's go enjoy the music, enjoy the scenery, enjoy just, you know, the company, that whole atmosphere. But then people, and I feel like, hey, and this is again my own people too, right? Mexicans, I feel like there's always, when there's a little bit too much to drink or a little bit too many tequilas. I remember even when we were kids, when we were at the quinceañeras or at the, you know, at the bodas, at the weddings, or the family, even the family parties, dude. The tios have a little bit too much to drink, and everybody, ándale, putazos. Everybody's ready to go, dude. Everybody's just like, somebody starts swinging, and then 30, 40 people jump in and start pulling at each other and like, you know, I can't take my frustration out anywhere else, so I'm going to come in and swing at somebody. Somebody cut me off in traffic 2 weeks ago, and this is my chance to take it out on somebody else that had nothing to do with that. Dude, I saw so many videos of people that were like beefing and started like swinging in the middle of the crowd. And then it's dangerous when you're just an innocent bystander, right? And you're just chilling there, like vibing out, listening to the music, and you get slapped in the back of the head by somebody else. Right? It's like, what the fuck is going on here? Now I got a concussion because somebody else spilled a drink on people that were 15 feet behind me. God. Anyways, when was the last time you went dancing? I don't know. I think that is, you know, and I just said that it's like risky going on in like big concerts and stuff like that. But one good thing is, you know, I think we all need a little bit of that release, right? Like, you go out, you have a good time. We did this in Tijuana, not out in Rosarito, but we went on like the main strip right there by, I think it's called Plaza Rio Plaza. But it was kind of like Vegas style, where they closed off all the streets, and people were just walking around. There was a bunch of live music. And we went into some different establishments. We had a couple drinks, and there was, you know, we were dancing to some cumbia, some reggaeton. We were even jumping around to some rock and roll. It was cool. And that's another form of distraction, right? Like, you're out and about, you're not thinking about anything else, but just having a good time, letting loose. And it also serves as some exercise, because then you wake up the next day and you're sore, and you're like, why am I sore? And, you know, if you're jumping around for 3 hours, you're up on your feet dancing around, it's cool. I think that we all need that. And that's part of that, like going back to resetting, right? It's like just moving around. Kind of goes like when you go on a hike or you go exercise, right? There's like, you get that release. You come back, you're kind of zen. You're a little bit more peaceful. You're a little bit more, you know, prepared to tackle what comes at you. Maybe you're not expecting some news or something, but it comes at you. And if you had just a nice little brisk walk or a little exercise, it helps with that. Similar with jumping around and dancing around all night long. You could probably do without the drinks or the tequilas. Maybe just stay hydrated. Drink some water. So if you haven't gone dancing recently, I would say this to you. Hey, take a look around. Maybe there's some events happening near you in your community. Get out, be social. And that's another thing too, right? You're just out and about and you meet random people. You run into some cool people. You maybe find out a little bit about their history, their background. What are they doing here? What are you doing here in Tijuana or in Bremerton or in Seattle, And just like connect with people. We are social creatures after all, no? Like we need that connection. And sometimes it's cool to just find out, somebody maybe just moved from across the country and they don't have any other connections around here. And maybe that's the start, the blossom of a beautiful friendship. Who knows? You never know unless you try. Okay, let's move into the GDO playlist. Because, dude, I feel like I've been rambling. If you're still in here, if you're still tuned in, hey, you a real one. We're just going to continue through this. Because right now we're talking about dancing. We're talking about moving and grooving. And I'm going to be talking about my girl, Karol G. Dude, Carolina Giraldo Navarro. Born on Valentine's Day. So, she's bound to steal your heart. Yep. And yeah, I know Drake's supposed to be coming out with a new album. Yeah, I like the Travis Scott album. Utopia, it was solid. Russ, battle some demons. And the making of Santiago, I listened to a couple tracks. They're solid. Yeah, Depeche Mode is still putting out hits in 2023. I know. But we're talking about La Bichota Season. Nominated for Billboard Hot 100 Awards. Collabs with virtually every big name in Latin, like reggaeton. Right? From Daddy Yankee, D.Y. to J Balvin, to Shakira, to name it, dude. Becky G as well. The real G's. Dude, she's just got this crystal clear voice. Some songs are, they use auto-tune or whatever, but her Tiny Desk is awesome. She's just got like such a sweet little innocent, cute little voice, Just kind of makes you want to like just tune in a little bit. It's like one of those appealing, don't make that face. You know what I'm saying though? There are some people that like, you're like, dude, stop talking and just sing. Like Sting. Like when he talks, it's kind of annoying to me. No? Nobody else? You ever listen to Sting just talk? Not as good as his singing. And even his singing, isn't that one song, like his most famous song, his breakout hit, isn't it just like a really creepy song? It's like talking about stalking somebody. Right? Every breath you take, I will move you. I'll be watching you. Like, okay. Creep. Anyways, La Bichota. And that's what my tia Vicky calls her, okay? So, don't come at me. Karol G was actually on the X Factor. She was an X Factor contestant, the Colombian version. Came over to the U.S., over to the East Coast to study a little bit more about the music industry, the New York streets right there. So she signed to, I want to say, not Universal Studios. What's the other one? Universal's movies, right? She came over to the U.S. and signed to let me see here. Some studios. Wah, wah. Not Universal Studios. Am I making that up? Universal Studios is movies, right? I'm tripping. Oh, Universal Music Latino. Yeah, it was Universal in there. But Colombian singer-songwriter. Been active for like 15 years now. So, you know, she's got some great hits. She's got like 5 albums out. She came out with Mañana Será Bonito, La Bichota version. Most recently, became the first woman to ever debut at number 1 on a Billboard 200 chart with a Spanish language album. So, come on. Just that right there, that fact lets you know if you haven't listened to La Bichota, you gotta get on the train. Some of my favorite songs off of the new album, S91 is for sure at the top of the list. I think that's the year she was born, so a little play on that. Nice flow on the track. It keeps you bopping all the way through it. You know, some tracks where it's just the melody that keeps flowing, it keeps riding, that it rides that beat perfectly. This is one of those tracks. It's a good fast walking song, some might say. Young Miko features on a track titled Dispo, talking about how this young woman is out on the town, maybe just recently broke up with somebody or leaving some dirtbag behind, you know? She just doing her. But don't think you're going to get lucky if you're just a Joe Schmo off the street over there and you see her dancing in the club. Because you can't just be any dude off the streets, you know. Because she bad and she knows it. This ain't my words. These are the words of Young Miko and Karol G, all right? It's some good bops. It's some good bops on the album. Check it out. We're going to link that in the description to this episode. And I got to go pee. I've had too many fluids, too many liquids. So I think we're going to leave it at that, dude. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for more. I'm going to be a little bit more videos on the Instagram. I've been getting into the editing the videos. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you would like to hear. Let me know what you'd like to see. Let me know what coffees you've been brewing up at home, and put your boy on. All right, because this is what it's all about: sharing information, sharing some knowledge, and spreading some love. Man, we're only here for a little bit, right? We're just a little blip in the timeline of the cosmos, right? So let's connect with each other and just make the most of it that we can. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time. Mwah.